I built this big shed like a month ago, 8 feet wide, 8.5 feet wide by 20 feet long, and I thought it was going to take me like half a day. It ended up taking me like 5 or 6 days. The instructions were almost 90 pages long, and I did it by myself, and it was like 20 degrees out the whole week. And every time I looked at the instructions, I got overwhelmed. I was like, oh my God, after so many pages. But a takeaway that and this is so weird, like this is 47, 46 degrees, and I'm almost shivering already. But we did 32 degrees all last week, and it hurt, but I wasn't like getting as shivery. But a takeaway from building that shed I had was like just taking it one page at a time, and not even the whole page, like just one line at a time. And then it wasn't overwhelming, and just stop thinking about, oh my God, I still have 50 more pages. I just started looking at it like, all right, I just have this one line, go find this part. And but then even today, like that same lesson, like I was getting overwhelmed with this like pipe being like clogged, and we were having a hard time with it. And then just started breaking it down into smaller and smaller pieces. Like, all right, let's just go get a good snake. I can do that. I can go to Home Depot and get a snake. We'll go from there. And then like before you know it, clog's fixed, everything's cleaned up, and we're back. And same thing with the shed. Before I knew it, the 90 pages were done, and now we have a freaking awesome shed that fits. We got to empty our storage unit, fit everything in that shed. But just taking it one page at a time. Not like looking at like the end goal as being so overwhelming. As you go into this new year, you might have some like big goals, big ambitions. But if that shed taught me anything, I've been thinking about that shed a lot. And I kind of had guys working on the house a lot this year, and they had a cool philosophy. Like tons of shit was going wrong. It's an old house, and we were doing 2 units at the same time, plus a basement and outside. There's so many projects going on. We ran into all kinds of issues. And these 2 guys I had in particular were like, they really made the overwhelming experience simpler by like anytime something went wrong or like something broke or we ran into an issue, they just like kept like halving it, kept just going down to like the root and not worrying about, because like they're getting paid, they don't care. I guess the way I did it with them is I paid them by the day, and I like managed the project, so it's not like they were losing money like on a bid or something. But their philosophy was great, and they said they always work like this. Like for instance, like a cabinet didn't fit the way it was supposed to, and instead of getting frustrated and like, oh, just got, why isn't it fitting? Oh, because whoever put this soffit up, put it on an angle. All right, we need to shave this part. Let's get it down and cut this with a multi-tool, and now it fits. And just like staying in that zone of like, in the moment, what is the next step that gets us closer to our goal? And that shed, like I was so overwhelmed with that shed. We had just finished all this construction. I had just had like really bad like personal news in my life, and it was cold out, and there was a freaking million pieces all over the yard. I didn't really have help. I was like, I just felt like I wasn't going to be able to do it. And then and I was just trying, like at night, reading the instructions, like all right, let me see if I can figure this out. But then I just started going one page at a time, and that really, really helped. And maybe that'll help you with like New Year's resolutions, like whatever your goal is. Say, like so many people have fitness goals for the new year. So say you want to lose 10 pounds or whatever, like you could write that on the wall and have it as a good goal, but then just start like in the morning, like that next day, like, all right, just one meal. What does one good breakfast look like? All right, people are saying to have a little more protein and a little less sugar. All right, so today I'm gonna scramble a few eggs and have 1 slice of toast instead of 2. Like bringing it down to that small thing instead of like, how am I gonna lose 20 pounds? How am I gonna lose 10 pounds? Like, and then that night if you mess up and you had a cookie or something, it's like, all right. And now the next day, like you're restarting. And what's that one thing that you can do that makes the likelihood of your goals like happening or becoming like true or reality more likely? And it's so easy to get overwhelmed and just like mess something up one day, like I'm off my diet, and then just like forget everything. Like you had one piece of cake with friends, and now you go back to just like doing everything how you were doing it. But if that shed and those guys taught me anything, it was like as things go wrong or things seem overwhelming, just like zoom in. It's like, all right, I messed up one night. Okay, I restart the next day. I don't have to like wait 2 months, gain more weight, and then start on Monday. Like, you could just restart right there and just like take it real small. Keep zooming in. Like, whatever the goal is. If it is to go to the gym 5 days a week and you miss 3 days, like, I guess it seems obvious, but to just go on that next day, like, you don't have to have this perfect schedule. I'm gonna try to utilize that myself. Like, I've been trying to upload YouTube videos every day, like taking you guys along with me to some part of life, and hopefully getting some like learning some things or being inspired to do some things. But like today, I was like frustrated because it's 8 o'clock, or almost 8 o'clock at night, and I haven't recorded anything. And then I was thinking, like, would it have been helpful to like take the camera along, like, through the day of like having a clogged drain in your house? Like, maybe that doesn't fit the personal development type page that I'm coming with, but I think it does, because I think that if you get too pigeonholed into one like area, and then other areas of your life inevitably bring a problem, you might be like a little overwhelmed. So I think I will I'm going to start a little earlier and bring you guys along like a little earlier. Maybe it would have been helpful to like document that process. Like, what is troubleshooting a house problem? Because like, maybe some of you own houses, maybe some of you aren't that handy. Like, our generation didn't have shop class and we're not as handy as our dads. So we're kind of trying to figure it out. Maybe you're renting and you want to buy, but like millennials, there's tons of buyer's remorse with owning houses. It's not just the down payment and the mortgage. Like, the cost of ownership is so high. I'm just like bleeding money, like with repairs, and it's so expensive. And we rented for years, and the rent sucked going out, but that was just like a fixed amount. Like, this month alone, it's like the first month we're living here, and we did so much construction, yet we're still like spending all this, like, these little things keep adding up. Today was a clogged drain, and even with me working with the guy, it still was like a $250 day and half my day with him. But yeah, I think I'll bring you guys along, and maybe you're interested in that, and you can see like how I troubleshoot things and how I've been like learning to be handy. And maybe as you go into this new year, as you're like starting to like improve your life or set some goals, you think about that lesson of like making a big goal. I love that. Like, I love writing down goals makes them more likely to come true, and where you can see them all the time. Like, write down your 3-month goals, your 6-month goals, and your 1-year goal, whatever it is, on one paper, and think about them, different areas, fitness, finance, relationships, whatever it is, and put that on a wall close to you. Like, have it in your car, have it at your desk, in your bedroom, in your locker, wherever you see it every day. And that subconscious like reminder is so powerful. But like, then in the daily, instead of being overwhelmed by that, break it down to like, what's one easy step I can make towards that, and just focus on that. Like, those 90 pages of instructions for that 20-foot shed, I just broke it down to one line and did as much as I could do in a day, each line, and then just finished it. Like, it ended up taking, I don't know, 6 days instead of the 1 day that I thought, but it's done. So if it takes you a little bit longer to achieve your goal, does it really matter as long as you achieve it? So tonight's New Year's Eve, and our first New Year's Eve in the house. They're already starting with fireworks. My dog's probably hiding somewhere. So if you do fireworks, you should give you a crack. I did a lot in my life, so this is probably my punishment. You'll probably be seeing this after New Year's because I'm a few days behind in editing, but I hope you have a happy New Year. And if you're going to start with some new habits and goals, hopefully this channel helps you achieve those goals in the new year.